Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the apocalypse. I'm your host, DDM, and today we're going to be talking about how the world has quite frankly lost its mind, at least those people who are on the eastern seaboard of these United States of America. Now, I'm going to wait for everyone to get in. As we discuss a few things, just so that you know, for this meeting, we're going to be discussing the gas shortage. We're also going to get into the very real skyrocketing of raw materials, lumber, rubber, some metals. Also, too, it's been some cicada sightings, bitch. We have to discuss that, as well as getting into Miss Liz Cheney getting fired, okay? Now, if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure you do that. YouTube.com/Secretary of Shade. Yes, I have my bald head back. If you want to contribute or donate to the channel, you can also do that via Cash App or Venmo. Dapper Dan Midas. Make sure you follow me on all social media outlets there as well. Now, the people are here. They're present. Hey, Jahaziel, once again, how are you, my love? Deneen in Columbus, Georgia. Y'all trying it down in Georgia with the gas. Hey, Cheryl. Latoya is here. I'm sorry. Darlene, of course. Hey, Darlene. You saw G&M had a shortage on crab meat, girl. You know I lost my mind. But, anywho, Sabrina, what's going on, Sabrina and Philly? We're going to go ahead and get started. So, the elephant in the room, okay? The elephant in the room is this gas crisis or gas shortage. However you want to paint this, this gas issue. Okay, now, for those of you who don't know, I am based in Baltimore, Maryland. So, I'm like kind of in the mid-Atlantic region of the country, of the Eastern Seaboard, rather. And I think people have lost their minds. Now, here, from first-hand accounts and reports, there have been some lines at gas stations. Some gas stations are indeed starting to run out. A friend of mine actually went to go get gas at the gas station that she goes to every day, and they told her she can only get $20 worth of gas, niece. Now, I don't know where, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Because... And we're going to get to how this came to be, where this all came from, because it didn't originate out of nowhere. People didn't just wake up and say, hey, we're running out of gas, okay? Some people have taken it to the extreme, okay? But it's a very real reason why we got to this point. And yes, it is the toilet paper thing all over again. Now, I'm going to read to you an article from CNET. And this kind of basically gives you a synopsis, or what we like to call a high-level overview when we unpack, of why it got to this point, what exactly happened. So you can thank the hackers for this. That's the first thing. You can thank the hackers for this. The computer hackers, they have nothing better to do. They said, we're going to hack mother gas line. We're going to hack the gas lines and make y'all lose your mind. Me personally, I think that this is a test. I think this is a test not only of American infrastructure and utility companies, I also think this is a test of the American people. And we fail every fucking time, bitch. Anyway, now. So, long story short, what happened? Okay. Colonial Pipeline. This is the pipeline who distributes the gas up and down the Eastern Seaboard. Colonial Pipeline was hit with a ransomware attack. Bloomberg reported that the hackers began their attack on last Thursday by stealing about 100 gigabytes of data as part of a double extortion scheme. The company shut some of its operations to prevent the malicious software from spreading. Okay? So, for those of you who don't know, ransomware. What is ransomware? Ransomware is a type of malware to scramble a company's computer data and hold it hostage until a ransom is paid. In a double extortion scheme, the attackers pilfer the data and threaten to publish it. Okay. On Wednesday, the Washington Post reported today that Colonial wasn't planning on paying a ransom to the hackers. Instead, it was working with the cybersecurity firm to restore data from backup systems the paper reported, citing people who were familiar with the situation. So, for those of you in the Baltimore City area or in the Maryland area, you remember, I believe it was last year or the year before last, everything's a blur now since COVID. We had a similar situation with the water company, bitch, with the billing system where they had got hacked. You know, they didn't know whether they was coming or going. It was a whole thing. Now, basically, what the hackers did, okay, with this ransomware, they got some of the data, okay, and scrambling. And basically, what they're going to do, they were holding it for ransom, and if you don't pay the ransom, they're going to publish the data, this, that, and the third, the whole thing. Well, Colonial was like, bitch, we not paying you no motherfucking money for the shit. We not doing that, bitch. We going to close all our shit down, okay? We going to close it down. It's getting closed down. Okay, sorry, lights are out. And we're going to hit up our IT person. We got this shit backlogged. We got backup copy, sis. We just going to go ahead and relaunch with the backup copy because we're not paying you for this fucking hack, okay? Now, the thing is, okay, in doing that, okay, Colonial, the company which operates pipelines for gasoline, jet fuel, and other refined petroleum products, halted pipeline operations after discovering the hack. Okay? Colonial said it proactively took certain systems offline to contain the threat, which has temporarily halted all pipeline operations and affected some of our IT systems. The company said it's at substantially restoring operational service by the end of the week. Now, word on the street is they getting back up and running as of today around 5 o'clock. On Wednesday, Colonial said it was beginning to restart its pipeline through caution, though it cautioned several days would be needed to bring the situation back to normal. Okay. Now, this is giving Terminator 2 Judgment Day, bitch. I'm just saying, where's Sarah Connor? Arnold, where you at? We need your assistance, bitch. Arnold line 3, Arnold line 3. Okay? Because, and a lot of people, you don't realize how much stuff is run by computers. You know, electrical systems can get hacked. Gas systems can get hacked. All of these things can get hacked. Anything man-made can get hacked. None of it's foolproof. So for all you bitches that was on the internet kikiing and laughing about your motherfucking Tesla, guess what, sis? She's a whole computer system. And if somebody wants to hack the Tesla system, your GPS can fuck around and have you driving in the middle of Park Heights, bitch. Don't play with it, okay? That's all I'm saying. So computer systems definitely try, you know, and I'm sorry, y'all, I didn't mean to go in on the Tesla people, but the Tesla people was really trying it as if Tesla is immune to a hack. Just because what if they hack the pump, the charging station, sis? What if they hack your little computer system, sis? Inside the Tesla, they download it up. You go to download the update, sis. It's a whole goddamn virus. Now your car don't work. Can't move that bitch. You gotta go to Apple support to get your motherfucking car open. Okay, for all you Tesla bitches. Okay, I see that you green and shit. I love that you saving the economy and the fucking ecosystem and all that shit, bitch. But now is not the time, sis. Now is not the time. But anyway, that's basically how we got to this point. So they shut down the pipeline, which caused this kind of like mass hysteria, like, bitch, you know. And I'm sure a few places probably did run out of gas prior to the mass panic and hysteria that has happened. But I think that's more so because some of those gas stations aren't managed well, more than likely, and they just didn't order enough gas anyway. And so, 1 + 1 = 2. All it takes is for one bitch to yell fire in the middle of a crowd of rum, and it's over, bitch. Now everybody's getting trampled. It's no gas. We packing up the car. You putting gas in trash bags and shit like a fucking dummy. You pulling up to the gas station with 800 gas tanks you done bought from Five Below or Sam's Club, bitch, and now we in this debacle. It done spread all the way up here to Maryland. Okay? So, who's behind this attack? Okay? The FBI, shit is real when the FBI involved, bitch. The FBI blamed DarkSide, a hacking group, for the attack. The law enforcement agency said it was notified of the attack on May the 7th and is investigating alongside the company and other government agencies. Cyber Reason, a security company based in Boston, wrote that DarkSide focuses on targets in English-speaking countries and avoids operations in former Soviet bloc countries. It sells its ransomware, a model known as ransomware as a service, and maintains a help desk for negotiations for victims, bitch. Now wait a goddamn minute! Wait a bitch! How the heck is gonna help desk, bitch? That's probably who hacked my motherfucking Instagram. Remember, I was locked out of my Instagram for like 5 days. Shout out to TT the artist. I had to have her call her people up at Instagram and shit, bitch. We had to go through resets. It was a whole goddamn thing just to get my motherfucking Instagram back. I bet you it was them dark side bitches. But anyway, how the fuck, okay, you gonna have a help desk to help the people that you extorting, bitch? Now that's some... Look now. Look. I love it. I love to see it. I'm not mad that y'all fucking... I'm mad y'all fucking the gas shit up. But any bitch who can steal your shit, extort you to sell it back to you, and just say, bitch, I'm going to make this easy for you. We got a help desk. You can call the help desk. They're available 24 hours a day, and they'll be able to assist you with making a payment, and then they'll walk you through the process on how to get your shit back. I love it. I love it. Do I support it? No. But you got to give a bitch tens when they got... But how the fuck is the criminals more organized than the people who's supposed to be handling this shit? I love it. They probably got a 401k plan. No shade. DarkSide probably pays the living wage, bitch. That's all I'm saying. They're not paying $11 an hour to their people. I can almost guarantee you, bitch. They probably got a 401k, a benefits package, paid time off. If they got a help desk to help you help the bitch that you stealing from, bitch, I love it. You know what this is the equivalent to? Of somebody stealing from you, okay? And then them helping you find the shit that they stole, knowing good and goddamn well that they got it. This is the shit. This is exactly what this is, okay? So, basically, okay, that's where they at. Now, what I found interesting was they say they mainly target English-speaking companies, which I find interesting because that says that they're like, oh, the Americans and shit, their cybersecurity is trash. Which is why Biden signed an executive order on beefing up cybersecurity. I think it was today. American cybersecurity is trash, so we could easily get their ass. We not gonna fuck with the Russians and the Chinese bitch, because their shit be on lock and they fuck around and send a virus and our whole operation be shut the fuck down. So we gonna leave them alone. But them Americans, bitch, and them Brits, their shit is trash. It's giving Microsoft PowerPoint, bitch. We can easily get up in there. That's basically what they're saying. Okay? Now, how to prevent ransomware attacks, since we're on the subject. City governments... Oh, we got mentioned in the article, Baltimore. Of course, it's for something negative, but I'll read it anyway. Unfortunately, they're pretty common. City governments around the country, including Baltimore's and Atlanta's, have been slammed by ransomware attacks. Hospitals have been shut down. In one case, a patient died because she had to be taken to a hospital nearly 20 miles away from her initial destination, which was dealing with a cyber attack. That's fucked up. And, you know, I know a lot of times I like to laugh and joke and you know, bring a lighthearted humor to a lot of the crises that we deal with, but that's terrible. And that's the downside to when you do things in a digital world and they have real world consequences. A lot of times we sit behind these computers, okay, and we think we can say anything, do anything, and the consequences are pretty light, when that's really not the case. You have a patient that died because she couldn't go to the hospital that could have saved her life because of a ransomware attack. The White House said Tuesday evening that the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and the Department of Energy are working with the industry on guidelines to secure critical infrastructure, sharing details on the attack that hit Colonial Pipeline and providing recommendations to reduce the likelihood of future incidents. Now, if you work in any type of utility world, any type of business world, you know that they have you doing all kinds of phishing, trainings and all that kinds of shit to make sure that you keeping shit secure, bitch. They have you change your password every 3 months. At this point, I'm running out of fucking passwords, bitch. I done spelled Grace Jones like 8 different times. I can't think of a new way to spell it anymore. So now I gotta find a new password, bitch. And yeah, you can go ahead and try Grace Jones, bitch. It's not even active on my shit no more. So type away to try to figure it out. But that's why it happened. Now, to these people putting gas in trash bag, I shared the video of the lady putting gas in a trash bag. At some point, the bullshit has got to stop. Okay? Now, y'all going up here, number one, that is a fucking safety hazard. Y'all buying all this gas, it's sitting. Anything, all it takes is for a spark to ignite. Your hand's shaky and shit, so who knows if you put the cap on the canister tight enough. You gotta go out for your smoke break because your wife don't allow you to smoke in the house. You go out to the garage, kapoof, you done blew yourself and the goddamn house up because you want to stockpile gas and shit. Gas and toilet paper are 2 different things, niece. I ain't never heard of a bitch suffocating from charming, but you will blow the fuck up from some fucking BP, bitch. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So, kill it with the stockpiling of gas. You're not going to fuck, and then, y'all stockpiling gas, bitch. Where the fuck y'all going? Where y'all going? I'm trying to figure it out. Yes, they lifting capacity limits and shit, bitch, but shit ain't really popping like that. I look good right now, no shade. I look thin. I think it's because I cut my hair. I like the ball. I like hair, but I was kind of over it. I like my ball. It's kind of my go-to. But anyway, so I'm thinking, where the fuck is y'all going? Y'all, and now all of a sudden everybody planned on doing a cross-country trip, bitch. Now, what I do I hope is that this doesn't impact the flight prices. Because I had planned on going to New Orleans in August, and I don't have time for the bullshit. So or New Orleans, however it's supposed to be said, New Orleans, bitch. I'm from Baltimore. Now, I hope it doesn't impact the flight prices. That's my only real concern about this. But that's basically where we at on gas. Now, another thing that's going up. You may ask yourself, for those of you buying homes, now this kind of was put on my radar a while ago. The price of lumber and raw materials are going up. Now, once again, this was put on my radar probably a few months ago because I have a good friend of mine who owns a construction company and runs it, and he was telling me, he's like, DDM, lumber has gone up 60%, He's talking about the banks won't really finance loans for new hotels. He said, hey, wait a minute, bitch. Number one, it's the pandemic. So who the fuck staying at this hotel? Number two, you see the price of raw materials? So if you haven't realized it, that price for newly built homes, it's going to cost you. Okay. Right now is not the time to buy a home built from the ground, bitch. I'm just saying. You might want to look at that bitch that's already built, but maybe just need some roof work. Okay? But right now, the lumber costs are sky high. So, what I did, bitch, because it always goes with the money. Now, some of this from what I've been researching is due to some of the tariffs that were imposed on Canada for lumber by our former president, Donald Trump, but also to there's financial reasons. So, Wells Fargo, bitch, when the bank put out a report about the cost of something, shit is real, okay? So Wells Fargo put out a report about what's driving the increase in lumber costs. Okay. So they did a little summary, and I'm going to read the summary, and then I'm going to hit a few other points. So lumber prices have skyrocketed since the onset of the COVID pandemic. As of this writing, lumber prices, and this is as of May 7th, lumber futures contracts for May May delivery were priced at $1,645 per 1,000 board feet, up about 60% from 1 month ago and 374% over the past year. So from this time last year to now, the cost of lumber has went up 374%, bitch. You better build that house out of fucking brick and mortar. You better call Moses and them and see what the fuck they was doing in pyramids, bitch, because it definitely ain't out of fucking wood. Prices have surged primarily due to how COVID constrained the supply of lumber. At the onset of the pandemic, sawmills shut down or vastly reduced operations as states and provinces imposed operating restrictions and social distance mandates. Demand proved more resilient, however. The switch to remote work and learning also set off a race for more space. Facts, bitch. Because even if you ain't have a big budget, you went to Marshall's and got you some new pillows, a new recliner, or some shit. Okay? You got something. Okay? So it's been shut down drastically. Okay? Now, it led to a surge in home sales and home improvements. Moreover, home building continued in many areas and quickly rebounded in most others after the lockdown ended. The supply-demand imbalance will eventually remedy itself as operating restrictions are eased. Lumber prices are unlikely to return to their pre-pandemic levels this year. The industry was in short capacity prior to the pandemic and has become increasingly dependent on imports from Europe. Domestic producers have been reorienting production to the South. Removing the tariffs on softwood lumber imports from Canada might provide some modest short-term relief, but the problem has more to do with the consolidation of the building products industry in the aftermath of the housing bust and the unique challenges of restarting production and normalizing supply chains as the pandemic dissipates. Okay. The surge in lumber prices is truly historic and marks the fastest rise since the housing boom that followed World War II, bitch. Buy the house that's already built right now, sis. If you don't want to buy the house that's already built right now, sis, long story short, bitch, either you're a fucking gajillionaire or you're going to stay in your motherfucking apartment. It is what it is. The biggest price increase since World War II. Most of us on this live wasn't even alive during World War II, bitch. That's where we at. And then you got the the Associated General Contractors of America asking Joe Biden to assist with helping to, offset the cost of lumber by easing some of these tariffs with Canada. See, this is what happens when you have somebody in office. Now, granted, COVID plays a huge part, as we just read, right? But this is what happens when you have somebody in office who wants to set all of these tariffs, all these hikes. You see where most of the production was coming from: Europe, Canada, and shit like that. You don't talk to them people like trash. You don't put all these tariffs and shit up. That's my shit high. And then this goes back to, imagine if we had factories where people could find jobs. Living wage, of course, but where people could find jobs. Where we could work these sawmills. But y'all sent everything overseas. No shade, the Clintons had something to do with that. That's just facts. I'm an equal opportunity bitch. But we sent everything overseas and now we gagging. Now we gagging. So that's what's going on with Wood. Goodyear Tires, shares of Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company sank 2.4% in afternoon trading. Okay? Reversing gains caught because of raw materials. The cost increases more than doubled for the cost of rubber. Okay? So you got a lot going on as a result of the pandemic. You got a lot going on as a result of these things. So I would say buy what's already there. Reuse. Recycle, bitch. I know the dream was to get the house built from the ground up, but you gotta do one of two things. Either you gotta alter your plan or you gotta fucking wait, bitch. Because right now it's not the time to be getting shit done. And all these apartments they throwing out, I'm like, look, the gentrification apartments, I'm like, who the fuck is living there with all these high-ass, like, they got a house, an apartment 2 doors down from mine where a studio is $1,600. No shade, but who's paying that to live around the corner from, some sketchy, I live in a decent neighborhood, but it ain't by far Beverly Hills, bitch. Who paying that to get accosted by junkies asking you for $5 every goddamn day? I'm not. Not in Baltimore City. 1 bedroom, $1,800, $2,000. Y'all done lost your mind. And some of y'all in California be like, oh, that's cheap. That's because y'all living in California. Y'all shit can catch on fire at any moment, and y'all pay way too much money for the shit that y'all got. I done been to California a couple times. Overrated, bitch. I'm just saying. Now, last but not least, because I got to get into Miss Handmaid's Tale tonight. Have a bedtime. Miss Liz Cheney got the boot, bitch. She got the boot. Now, I don't feel bad for Liz because Liz did agree with a lot of Donald Trump's policies. If you look at her voting record, bitch, suspect. But Liz decided that she wanted to die on this horse of, going against Donald Trump about the voting, which is good. You know what I'm saying? She's like, Donald, there was no election stolen from you. There was no fraud. She's like, look, bitch, come off it. And the Republican Party was like, look, sis, you can't keep saying that. Because the Republican Party is now the Trump Party at this point. Okay? The Trump Party is the Republican Party at this point. And if you go against that, that's your ass. That's your ass. Okay? Liz is like, what movie can I'm trying to think. What movie was that? Liz is like, if you ever seen Street Fighter, the movie, the live action movie, bitch, she like Dulcine. She done fucked Blanca up. And did all of this shit, turned the skin green, hair, orange and shit. And then when shit about to fall down, then all of a sudden she wanna, I tried to preserve his mind. No, bitch, it's too late now. I mean, kudos to you for saying that the motherfucker was bonkers. But now you out your seat, bitch. They ousted you. But they kept Marjorie Taylor Greene, though. They ain't removed her from her assignment. This bitch is crazy as all outside. But they ain't removed her from her assignment. They kept Mother Marge. But Liz, you're not speaking the right language, sis. And hopefully you can keep your seat in Wyoming when re-election comes up, bitch. But I don't know. It depends on what the people in Wyoming give. I'm not well-versed in Wyoming, so I don't know what their voting system is like. I don't know, how they view candidates. Because, every state and the culture of that state and the culture of the people is different. Wyoming could be like, yeah, Liz, that's our girl. Fuck them motherfucker. We gonna do it. Or they could be like, Liz, what the fuck, man? Your ass, we ain't voting for your dumb ass. What you mean? The election was stolen. So I could go either way. Okay? But long story short, Mother Liz is done. That's pretty much the story. I mean, it's not much I can say past that. Mother Liz got the can. Now, one last thing. Child. If for those of you not on the Eastern Seaboard, I don't know if this is a national thing or not, but we got these cicadas coming. They be underground for 17 years. They come out every 17 years, bitch. It's like Jeepers Creepers, okay? And a few people have saw sightings of them. When I tell you these cicadas are gross looking. Like, I I have a strong stomach. I mean, look at me, bitch. I love to eat. I have a strong stomach, but the look of these cicadas, they look like underdeveloped penises. That's the best way. I don't mean to gross you out, but that's the best way, with eyes on them. It just, they look, ush, as my grandmother would say. It just looks nasty. And we're about to get swarmed. And you know, I like, with all of the shit that's going on with climate change and shit like that, I just, you know, was hoping that climate change would fuck up the cicada algorithm. Like, they'd be like, no, bitch, we ain't coming out no more. Or the climate change, the ground might have got too hot one year and it might have fried their asses or something like that. Well, obviously, that didn't happen. And they just look nasty. They look nasty. And I just can't, you know. For all of you gassing up your cars to go outside, good luck to you. I cannot. And, you know, from what I understand, they don't stick around the whole summer, but while they're here, I will be in the they just, and they fat, and and they come out the shower, and it's just nasty. It's nasty. But anyway, that's our meeting for the night. Once again, if you want to follow online on YouTube, youtube.com/Secretary of Shade. Also on social media at Dapper Dan Midas. If you want to contribute to the channel as well, you can do that at Venmo and Cash App at Dapper Dan Midas. Make sure you hit the bell at the top for notifications. With that being said, you guys have a great rest of your week. I will see you next week. And I love you all. Good luck. Be well. Be blessed. And get a fly swatter, bitch. Peace out.